Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of How to Make Visual Novels with Dagger. Last time we were talking about the differences between writing in a first-person perspective and the three different types of third-person perspective writing. But today, we're going to talk about how to write in a first-person and third-person perspective. It's not really all that hard, actually. All it takes is some time, some practice, and some patience, but anybody can do it. The more time you spend with it, the easier it'll get, and the more fun you'll have doing it. So, just as a refresher, first-person perspective writing deals with writing from the POV of one character, and that character is the protagonist of the story and also the narrator. Doesn't know everything except for everything that happens to himself or herself. That narrator is not an omniscient entity. And then third person, it's a little different. Third person is a omniscient observer that either knows everything that happens to just one character, or knows everything that will happen until the end of time. So, how do we write in a first-person perspective? Well, first person uses first-person pronouns, obviously. There's a lot of internal monologues and a lot of reporting on everything in the narrator's environment. So you're basically talking about how... Well, okay, let's talk about this as an actor perspective. You're playing the role of one character. As an actor, you look at your script and you're always saying, what's my motivation? What's my character doing here? How is he feeling? What is he going to do? How is he going to do it? Well, same idea here. Writing in a first-person perspective, you're kind of like an actor. So you're kind of looking at the script. You're trying to figure out what's going on here. But as I say that, the first-person narrator reports on everything in his or her environment, doesn't have to just be reporting, since that can get really, really boring. And I'll show you how it gets boring in just a few minutes. Now, when you're writing in a first-person perspective, you want to use just enough description so that the players and or readers can visualize and understand what the narrator's talking about. But don't be heavy-handed or overbearing, because doing that, you're going to lose your player and your reader. You're going to annoy them, and then they're probably not going to pick up your stuff for a long time, and you don't want that. Now, I know you're a smart kid, because you don't want someone just constantly telling you what to do, what to think, what to feel, and all that stuff. We're not communists. This is America. In America, we have a little thing called democracy. Okay, you know what? We're not gonna go there. I didn't want to go political. I'm sorry. I didn't want to go political. I'm sorry this had to happen. Now, seriously, what do I mean by being heavy-handed and overbearing? Well, you don't want to treat your reader like they're stupid, right? You don't want to treat them that they're stupid. People can figure out things through context clues and subtext. Because we're smart. We can understand everything. Like here, for example, here's a good one. You see someone on the street, right? Their fists are clenched. Their whole hand is vibrating. Their eyebrows are furrowed. They're gritting their teeth. You see their mouth moving here and there like they're saying some type of nasty obscenity or expletive. Now, what does that tell you? It means that they're super happy, right? Well, no, it means they're super PO'd. Now, you don't need someone coming in here like, Mega Man! Just going in there saying, they're ticked off. When you can see that. You can see that they're ticked off. You don't need someone with a megaphone just yelling it right in your ear like, hi, you know what? This person's really mad. And yeah, look at them. They're really mad. And you said mess with them, but I'll kill you. Okay, I just wanted you to know. So yeah, you don't need anybody to tell you that. You can figure that out for yourself. And it usually takes a few seconds. Now in the writing world, all it takes is a few sentences. Now, this goes into the idea that I bring up a lot. It's called showing versus telling. Now, showing is the best way to tell your story, while telling is just boring and reporting. Don't do that. And it's just like what we talked about with the angry guy. When you write down that, his brow's furrowed, his fists are shaking, his mouth's muttering some really nasty stuff, that's just me showing you that he's mad. Now, if I were to tell you that he's mad, I would just straight up say, this guy's very mad. This guy's so mad that he's shaking his fist. This guy's so mad that he's swearing under his breath. See, that's boring. We can figure that stuff out. I don't need someone to tell that to me. I don't need someone to tell that to me. Now we're going to play a little game, all right? I'm going to throw 2 sentences at you, and I want you to tell me which one you think is the best, all right? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. You'd probably want to go with the first sentence, huh? Now that's the idea, showing versus telling. Showing sounds way better. Now when you're showing, that's when you can really throw in some nice $5 words, you know what I mean? Some really nice adjectives, some really nice description. That's when it's just straight up wordplay, right? And wordplay can be really good. But then again, going back to my point a couple videos ago where less is more, you don't want to overdo it and be overbearing and heavy-handed, because that takes a good thing and then it just turns it to poo. And we don't want our good things turning into poo, right? Because that's gross. And you don't want to pick that up. I don't want to pick that up. Nobody wants to pick that up, so don't do it. Now notice in that first sentence, I didn't use any ly adjectives. Now what do I mean by ly adjectives? Well, using adjectives that end with an ly can sometimes be pretty redundant. It's like, we get that the cool wind feels nice, so we don't need to be told that it felt really good. The first sentence shows us that the narrator had a bad headache for a while, and the nice weather, the wind, took his mind off of it and he felt a lot better. See, that's using context clues and using your mind. Now it's the same idea in third person, but it's the observer that's narrating this time. So here, check this out. So yeah, we're probably gonna go with something similar to that first sentence. All right, now let's ham it up as a voice actor. Okay, here we go. You ready for this? The crisp, cool breeze drifted against him. The migraine seemed to have just vanished once he closed his eyes and gave himself to the wind. Okay, now we'll try it with this one. The cool wind gently touched him. It felt really nice to him. His migraine was gone. He felt much better after that. Now you see how that sounds? Now here, let's try it with the hammy voice, okay? The cool wind gently touched him. It felt really nice to him. His migraine was gone. He felt much better after that. See, even hamming it up like that and trying to make it sound cool, it doesn't sound cool. It just sounds stupid. So as you can see, if you keep that showing versus telling idea in your head, and what you would rather hear or read, you'll find it much easier to write. You have to think as a player and as a reader of what you want to hear and what you want to read. And also to keep that idea in your head, whether you want to be shown something or you want to just straight up be told something. You'll find it a lot easier to write when you really want to show something with some really nice descriptions. Okay, that's actually a really good thought that entered my head. Think about this. When you were a little kid, right, and show and tell comes up, and you have this really cool thing you really want to show off, like a toy. Because when I was a kid in show and tell, I always carried around a Spider-Man action figure or a Batman plushie, and I would just love to go up there and I would tell all about it. Actually, not really tell all about it, more like show all about it. The only things I would say was like, oh, I had it for this long, he's always my buddy, stuff like that. But what I'm showing is like I'm hugging it close to me. I'm really excited talking about it. It's showing to my audience, the audience of drooling, drippy, whiny kids that, oh man, this guy's a huge Spider-Man fan. He's a really big Batman fan and he really loves his stuff. Look, he takes good care of it. There's not a scratch marks on the figure. There's no scratch marks on the face. There's no, garbage or anything that's messing it up. It looks pristine. It looks really good. So, if you're the kid looking at my figure, it tells you everything you need to know, that I really love Batman, Spider-Man, and I take really good care of my stuff. It's like, no one needs to just tell you that. You could just see everything right there, and you're using your own brain to figure that out. So as a writer, think of it this way. You want to talk about something you're really excited about. It's the same idea. You're really excited, so you throw some really cool, flowery $5 words in there. Or if you're really mad, you'll throw in some really dark, foreboding $5 words in there. You know what I mean? See, that's a lot easier to write, and you'll have a lot more fun doing that. And for me, always keeping in mind about, showing versus telling, it really helps my ideas flow, because for me personally, clunky writing can trip me up as I'm reading and as I'm writing my own stuff. When I catch myself just reporting, like, oh, this person's mad, or this tree looks really pretty in this sunlight, or oh, the leaves are changed, that means it's fall, that's pretty cool. Like, no, that's boring. So that's when I go back and then I replace all the dumb clunky writing with something really nice. So when you go back and you proofread it, check what you're doing, it reads a lot better. So if you just keep in mind what you want to do and think of how you can show something, the ideas should start coming to you. And if the ideas still aren't coming to you, you just walk away. You just walk away for a little bit and come back to it later. Maybe a day or two, just to take a break from it. Because if you try to force something, it's never going to come out as good. It just doesn't. It never comes out good. You never want to force anything. You just want to take a break, refresh yourself, then you come back and you find out, hey, this wasn't so bad. I got my ideas. Now I'm just going to get to work on this thing. Now, I could show you plenty of other examples, but those two sentences pretty much just sums the whole thing up. Now, my advice to you is, if you find yourself, just telling about something, reporting something, what you do is you just reread it, see what's wrong with it, and then you just go into each sentence little by little, and you just start changing some words around. Maybe get rid of this adjective, replace it with this one, change it up like this, so this way this person can figure out how nice this is, how bad this is, without me beating them over the head with a hammer, you know what I mean? Because, that's the last thing you ever want to do, is treat your player or your reader like they're stupid. A pretty straightforward lesson, but it's got a lot of technical stuff in it, and you know how much I love technical stuff. My thing with technical stuff is the more you practice with it, the more you play with it, the more you understand it, the lot more fun you're going to have doing it. So that's pretty much what these styles of writing will do for you. The more you practice with it, the better you'll get at it. Simple as that. Then we had a bunch of lessons where we just stepped away from programming things, just talking about fundamentals. But next time we're going to go back into the program to learn some more tricks. And what kind of tricks are we going to learn about? Well, I'm going to teach you how to add choices to a game. So let's say you have a section in a game where someone asks the main character, which is you, a question. Or you're given a decision, a choice, and how that's going to impact the story. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about choices and decision making. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great day. And I will see you guys in the next lesson.